Well, let's get more on this now with Maria Popova. She's an associate professor of political science at McGill University. Great to have you back with us, Professor. Zelenskyy came to Washington asking for missiles, but left with talk of diplomacy. Is this shift towards brokering a deal more about US strategic interests than Ukraine's survival, do you think?
No, I think it's basically a continuation of the cycle that Trump has been going through for 9 months already. And it's a cycle between him being optimistic that he can make a breakthrough diplomatically, get through to Putin and somehow convince him to stop the war. Then he gets frustrated, tries to blame Ukraine for it, and then again, then says, let's help Ukraine, gets frustrated with Putin, and now we're back to his optimistic phase where he thinks that maybe another meeting with Putin will be able to change something. He has no real evidence for why Putin is readier to talk now compared to August, compared to May, compared to February. But he keeps hoping.
Now, if the US continues withholding long-range weapons like Tomahawks, could that effectively limit Ukraine's ability to shift battlefield dynamics or negotiate from a position of strength?
I mean, the Tomahawks would absolutely be very helpful, but it's important to keep in mind that Ukraine in the last few months has in fact made quite a bit of successful long-range hits on its own, with its own self-produced drones, and also to remind people that Ukraine now is producing its own missile. It has just started doing that, the Flamingo missile, which is a long-range missile. So it doesn't have a lot of them, but this production is going to ramp up. Of course, Tomahawks would be great to have, but I think it's important to remember that Ukraine has been able to hold Russia back and to cause the failure of the Russian summer offensive on its own, with its own weapons.
Now, Donald Trump says both Putin and Zelenskyy want a deal done, but is there any evidence to suggest that Putin actually wants to end this war now?
There really isn't any evidence of that. Every single statement that Putin has made in the last 9 months basically repeats the same point. He wants to talk, but he wants Russia to achieve all of its goals. And of course, it's important to keep in mind that settlement and negotiation implies actually giving up on some of your goals. There has been no expression of readiness to do that by Putin.
And what message does this send to European allies, especially those who are concerned that Trump could broker a deal that locks in Russian territorial gains?
I think the European allies will pursue the same strategy that they've had for the last few months, which is without actually seeking confrontation with the US. They will try in a flattery-based way, which is what works with the American president. They will try to impress on him again the idea that strategic interests both for Europe and for the US, for all of NATO, lie with Ukraine surviving and actually being able to win this war. And so they will go on a charm offensive again and try to talk Trump back again from possibly stalling on helping Ukraine and possibly even helping Russia.
Okay, Maria Popova, we'll have to leave it there. Great to get your thoughts as always. Thank you.
Thank you.